Hello and welcome to this second video on the Louvre Aulos. I'm Callum Armstrong and today we're going to talk specifically about the scales that you use when playing on this wonderful instrument. For a long time we didn't really know what scales to play on this instrument. Recently the philologist Tosca Lynch has published a paper, Singing with the Muses, New Paths in Ancient Musicae. See the description below for more details. And in this paper she proposes various scales that the Louvre Aulos would have played. And in the next series of videos we're going to go through each of these scales and talk about their application on the Louvre Aulos. Now, as a long-term player of this instrument, I believe that the scales that Tosca proposes really line up very, very well with this instrument. And I now exclusively almost play these scales on the instrument because I find it really rather convincing. And today we're going to have a look more in depth at a chart that she has produced showing these scales on the instrument. The diatonic versions of these modes that I will illustrate in this video and up and coming videos were common in Imperial Greek music, as opposed to the enharmonic, chromatic versions that were typical of classical music. In this video today we are going to look at the top scale on the chart, the Lower Phrygian, and how you might go about playing that. So in order to play this scale we need to play the complete scale over the two pipes. Now, as you can see in the chart, the F sharp is the messe, so that can be used, I suppose, as a nice drone note to play on one pipe while the other pipe is playing the melody. And that F sharp, in fact, is very conveniently placed on both pipes. So the F sharp on the high pipe is 2 fingers and thumb, and on the low pipe is the top note. So it's this note here. So we can begin by playing the F sharp on the high pipe and the low B on the low pipe. And we can make a scale very slowly upwards to the F sharp. And then when we get to the F sharp on the low pipe, so a unison between both pipes, then we can continue up the scale to the top of the instrument to the high B on the high pipe, while the low pipe takes over the drone of the F sharp. A bit like this. So I've covered the 2 holes below the finger holes on the top of the high pipe, and this allows me to make a unison low B drone like this. And in that position I have another note in common. So on this scale now, on both instruments I actually have 3 notes in common. I have the low B, the F sharp that we spoke about earlier, and the E, which is the 3 fingers on the high pipe and thumb off on the low pipe. So see you in the next video.